It's Heinz Arake, and this is my video cast for assignment 5 final exam assessment. So on this one, we were in charge of making the update and delete functionality for our grading app. So I'm gonna be showing that. So first of all, I'm gonna show the entire functionality. So first we go here to the code editor. We can either select either of them. So to run the application, we go here. I have a script here called start. So we go npm run start. Boop. And now we have our server that is listening port 7000. We're here to port 7000. Well, first of all, I want to show my database. So we're here to localhost is grading app students. So I don't think I have students so far. Yeah, I don't have any students. So let's just show this real quick. Now minimize this, put it real small right here. Okay. So we go to local host 7000. So, well, first of all, I'm gonna show the ad. So I'm gonna add Fonda, and she has a 59. Create the one. So you have our ID, the name, the percentage, and then the NIF. And then we're gonna, if we go here to database, we see that Fonda has been added. When and the ID. For the second one, I'm gonna add Nicholas with a 69. Okay, he got a D, 69, Nicola. Oh, well, I'm okay. Third one is gonna be Sam with a 79. Got a C. I'm gonna add Gabriel or Gabo. And give him an 89. I'm gonna add Oscar. And I give him a 99. So just add me just in case. Hi, so I'm gonna give me a 83. Oh, sorry, that's the name. I'm gonna give me an 83. Just create. I'm at it. So here's the read functionality, the create functionality. Now let's test the edit functionality. So here we have the edit button. So you see that I misspelled Nicolas. I spelled Nicola. So just go here. You say Nicholas. Nicholas, and he got a 69. So let's give him a 70. Get edit. Done. Edit it. So we see here Nicholas, same ID. Nicholas now edited. 70%, got a C. If we reload the page, you can see all the students. See Nicholas here first, so on and so forth. For the delete functionality, you just click the delete, and let's delete it. So I delete Heinz. If you go here to database, Heinz is no longer here. The validation, well, I have, well, you cannot leave this empty. It will give you an error. I haven't grabbed that error and displayed it here. And now I have for the student percent, you cannot put more than 100. It won't allow it. This is just JavaScript, but it's also recorded in my code. So here we go to the app. We go to the controllers. Here is my create and read. Create basically will just go and grab the name and the score from this form, and then it will grab the score and run a function that I call getGrade, that is right here. That'll give me a letter for the grade. And then we're gonna try this. We're gonna try a await a async function where we're gonna grab the student model right here, the student model, which is, if we go here to models, it's this one, student model, and we're gonna pass in a name, a score, and a grade. And if you see here, the name is validated, so it's not allowed to be null, so you cannot leave that empty. It has to be in a string, and even if you input, if you put something in, the length of the string has to be at least more than 3 characters. So if it's less than 3 characters, it will throw an error. Same here. If you see here, the data type is decimal, which means that you can use 67.9. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. This the JavaScript won't allow me to do it, but here the score will allow me to, my model will allow me to put decimals. So what I have to do for this is just basically create a function that will grab any number and will just round them up or round them down, or yeah, just round them up. And if you input something that is not a decimal number or a number in general, it will display this message that says it must be a number. So if we go back to the controllers, then we have the read functionality that is right here, which will basically just find all the students in the database and save them in this variable, and then I'll pass this variable to this pub view that I have right here. Sorry, pub view called landing, and then in landing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a mixin, and the mixin is just simply gonna display. It's gonna do a for loop throughout the students. It's gonna grab every student in students. It's gonna create the table with all the ID, the name, the percentage, the grade, and at the end it's gonna add the 2 links. The 2 links for the edit and the delete. These 2 links is basically is gonna grab from these links. If we go here to public, if we go to landing, we're giving him the link, the URL link, which is the edit !ID equal. This is basically a request query, which you can, if you see here in my public, when you go to edit, you have the get to get the page to load. We select here edit. This load the page edit, and if you see here, here's the ID of the student, and then here in the post, or in the here I grab from the query, I grab the ID right here, and I use that to display Fonda, and like I just run this I found the student with this ID, and then I send that student to the page, and then in the page I simply access the name and the score to have them here as placeholders. So you know that, oh, okay, I'm gonna modify Fonda, and I'm gonna modify her grade of 59. Let's give Fonda 100. Fonda and 100. Then you click edit, and what that does is basically it grabs it will run the post method, and it will grab the ID from the query. It will grab from the query is the let's see, so you can see, well, let's just do it. The query is gonna be this. It will grab the ID from this query, and it will grab the name and the score, the new score. It will run the same function again because the score is new, so the grade might have changed. Like you see, before she got an F or a D, I don't remember. Now she got an A. And then it's gonna try to run this function, right? This is a very complicated function. Not complicated, but it's like the way it runs the update in SQL Pro is a little bit different than it does in MongoDB. So basically you have to give them the change rows, and then here is another variable that is basically gonna spit out a variable with the contents of the entire the entire row. So like I think the entire object. So basically this one is just gonna give me the ID of the row that is being changed, and this one will give me the entire object, which I don't really need. I just need, in this case I don't even need the change rows, but I still need a variable there to make this whole function work. Then I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna update the student name, score, and grade that I grabbed from here, and where the ID equal this ID, which is the query that I showed before, and returning true. So basically it's gonna return the ID, or like the ID of the row that is changed in this variable. And then it's gonna redirect to the thing, and then you can see here, as soon as you redirect, you can see Fonda has a score of 100. So you can delete all of them. If you go here to my index, sorry, this is not the index. It comes with ProSQL. Every time you run your SQLize initialize, your SQLize init, it will create this file automatically. But I'm talking about this index. So I have here my index with my notes, with my comments, create the app with Express. I have here a static folder, which is the public, which is gonna be where I have my CSS right here. Then let me go back to my index. I have a body parser. What body parser do is basically every time the request comes back, it parses it into a JSON file, so it's better to be like but easier to read. Then I'm here, I'm setting my template as view engine is pug. I'm saying that basically kind of like the static folder that the views are going to be in. So every time I render a view, it's just basically going to go to the views and look for the file that I just like put in my render. So if we go here to public, and I'm running, let's say here in read, you can see here landing. It knows this renders response.render landing. It knows it's the file called landing in the views folder automatically. Where was I? Index. And here basically I'm requiring my public controller from my controllers folder. I'm just basically bringing it in and putting this whole thing I'm putting in this variable, and then I'm gonna use it in my app, where the URL is just basically a /, which is nothing in front. It's just gonna run the app, nothing out of the ordinary. Then I export my app. I'm exporting my app into my index outside the app folder. And I have here require my app, and then I'm just gonna use app.listen because it has Express on it, and this function is Express function. And I'm gonna give it a port, and I'm gonna throw my function to work, and that's my grading app. So let me see if I cover. So yes, I did not add a React component because explain I'll have to basically make this whole app an API and use the React as a front end, and I'll have to connect them both, which is a very complicated process, and I don't have the knowledge nor the time to research into it. I have validation, but it's not displayed on the screen. All my code is MVC structure, and I did not comment my PHP code according to best practices, but I did comment my code the best I could, so I understand every time I go and open it. I included a README with all the information. Welcome to a Grading App. To run the app, you just have to install the npm-i to install the node modules and the dependencies, and then to start the app, just run npm run start, because everything is already here in my package.json. So, well, thank you very much, and goodbye.